Hi, welcome to Your Great Journey. Each week, we offer you brief tips, techniques, and insights to help you master big change. For more information, please visit yourgreatjourney.com.
Your Great Journey is brought to you by audiobook publisher Wetware Media. Wetware Media publishes a wide variety of personal transformation audiobooks available from any major online audiobook retailer. For more information, please visit wetwaremedia.com. That's wetwaremedia.com.
Today we're sharing an excerpt from an audiobook full of techniques to help you manage stress. MBSR Every Day, Daily Practices from the Heart of Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction by Dr. Elisha Goldstein and Dr. Bob Stahl. MBSR Every Day will introduce you to Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction, MBSR, a clinically proven program developed by Jon Kabat-Zinn. If you're ready to permanently change the way you handle stress, gain powerful inspiration, and live more fully in the moment, this book is the perfect guide. In this excerpt, Dr. Goldstein and Dr. Stahl share the importance of loving yourself, imperfections and all. You'll be inspired by real-life examples and learn to practice self-compassion in your own life as a way to relieve stress.
The Gifts of Imperfection. You may have read the wonderful little story, Corduroy. Corduroy was a teddy bear in a department store with a button missing on his overalls. Corduroy had an imperfection, and when a little girl came up to him and asked to buy him, her mom said, "Not today, dear. We've already spent enough already, and besides, he's missing a button." When they left, Corduroy was disturbed that he had this imperfection and went around the store on little adventures in search of his button. He never found it, but the next day, the girl came back, bought Corduroy, imperfection and all, and gave him a home and a friend. This is a famous book, read to millions of children and parents. Why? Because it touches on a topic we can all identify with, the idea of being imperfect but still deserving of love. We all feel vulnerable and have a button missing somewhere. We see it in being bald or overweight, or having wrinkles or a birthmark somewhere. Or maybe we feel inadequate as we struggle with anxiety, depression, obsessions, or addictive behaviors. At the heart of it, we all want to feel that we belong. We want a home and we want a friend. To be in harmony with the wholeness of things is not to have anxiety over imperfections. Japanese Zen Buddhist teacher Dogen Zenji. Newsflash: to be imperfect is to be human. We might say we are all perfectly imperfect. Dropping anxiety about our imperfections doesn't mean becoming complacent about imperfections that might be harmful to our mental and physical health. We can still work to change them. It simply means understanding that we are all imperfect and beginning to practice kindness instead of fear and hate toward our imperfections. What would the days, weeks, and months ahead look like if we practice more kindness toward our imperfections? Just do it. Okay, let's get practical. How does this work in our daily lives? Think of it in 3 steps. 1. Acknowledge imperfection. The first step is to accept the fact that you are imperfect, as we all are. 2. Notice judgments. At any given moment, a negative thought may arise. Yes, but I have many more imperfections than most people, or I'm just not following these practices right. I can't do this. If this happens, recognize it as an automatic, habitual thought pattern, because that is what it is. Let it be, and bring your attention to the 3rd step. 3. Reparent with kindness. Bring kindness to the moment. Bring your attention to the feeling that is there right now. It is likely a physical feeling that is connected to an emotion, possibly an emotion of shame, disgust, fear, sadness, or anger. Put your hand where the feeling is and imagine it as a baby. Maybe even imagine yourself as a baby or a little boy or girl. Now say to this part of yourself, I care about your pain, and I love you just the way you are. Or use whatever words fit for you. You can do this for 30 seconds or 30 minutes, whatever feels right for you in the moment. Every moment is an opportunity to hone mindfulness and self-compassion. Even now, as you hear this, there may be doubts or judgments in your mind, such as, "This is lame," or "I could never do this." We all have automatic negative thoughts, and for many of us, they've been with us for a long time. The good news is their arrival gives us an opportunity to practice breaking free from them. This puts you back in the driver's seat and allows your experience, rather than the snap judgments, to be the teacher. Love yourself. When Julia walked into our class, she wore her stress on her sleeve. She was working 50 hours a week at an insurance company and doing her best to have a healthy marriage, all while mothering 3 children. She found herself in a constant swirl of to-dos, with frequent intrusive thoughts that she was not good enough. When she was instructed to bring a kind attention to her experience, a loud voice inside erupted, "No!" Lack of self-kindness may just be the great unnamed epidemic of our time. We grow up in a culture that sees self-kindness as self-indulgent, or a form of narcissism. The reality is, however, that it's one of the most practical ways to bring us into a state of mental health, and the world into global health. Consider if you were wounded on the side of the road. What would you need? You would first need to acknowledge the wound and then inspect it. Then you would care for yourself as you carefully cleaned the wound, applied a healing agent, and then bandaged it to protect it. Why should our emotional lives be any different? If you were stranded on an island for the rest of your life and had to choose one person to be with, wouldn't you want someone you knew to be kind? It turns out that while some of us have more of a disposition to kindness than others, it's a skill that any of us can build. Even with ourselves, we can nurture the quality of kindness as we begin to befriend our own souls. Every time we bring the intimate quality of kindfulness to ourselves, we are sowing the seeds of self-love, which is the greatest healer of all. As for Julia, with a bit of patience and persistence, self-kindness finally began to settle in, and toward the end of the program she said, with tears brimming from her eyes, "I finally heard that small voice inside say, 'I love you,' and I believed it." Just do it. The fact is that you are the owner of your actions and an active participant in your own health and well-being. Why not take the leap into loving yourself, even if it's only to be 10% kinder for now? Life will always present us with stressors, annoyances, and uncomfortable challenges. Take a moment to reflect on a recent difficult experience. What was it that you needed in that moment? Was it to have strength, to feel safe, or to have more peace? What do you notice if you start to send these intentions inward? May I be strong, feel safe, be at peace. Do you notice an aversion similar to what Julia noticed at the beginning of the class? Or maybe it feels soothing. Continue to play with the practice of being your own best friend. What's the risk? Might you reduce the pileup of frustrations and resentments and instead build more ease, safety, and freedom? Instead of doing random acts of kindness with a little intention, we can create radical acts of kindness.
Thanks for listening to this excerpt from the audiobook MBSR Every Day, Daily Practices from the Heart of Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction. You can purchase the complete audiobook from any major online audiobook retailer. If you'd like more information, please visit yourgreatjourney.com. Please be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. And if you like the show, please rate it and review it. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
Your Great Journey is brought to you by audiobook publisher Wetware Media. Wetware Media publishes a wide variety of personal transformation audiobooks available from any major online audiobook retailer. For more information, please visit wetwaremedia.com. That's WETWAREMEDIA.com.